Hello everyone, and welcome back with Professor Chavez. Today we're going to learn about factoring the greatest common factor, or the GCF, from an expression. So let's go ahead and let's unlock the secrets of simplifying algebra. Now, the greatest common factor of expressions. We know that the greatest common factor, or the GCF, is the largest factor. We know the GCF must divide evenly into two or more terms. It finds the biggest component common to all the terms. The GCF helps to simplify complex expressions quickly. What is factoring? Factoring is essentially reverse engineering expressions. Rather than combining terms through multiplication, we decompose expressions into their simpler components, revealing the building blocks. It's similar to determining the ingredients that went into making a finished cake. What is the greatest common factor, or the GCF? The greatest common factor is the largest factor that divides evenly into two or more terms. It's like finding the biggest Lego block that can be used to build different structures. For example, the GCF of 12 and 18 is 6. Why is GCF important? GCF helps in simplifying expression, which makes math easier to manage, solving equations efficiently, because it unlocks the solutions faster, understanding relationship, which reveals hidden connections between numbers. It's like having a secret code to unlock math problems. Steps to find GCF of an expression. Identify factors. For each term, break down each number into its prime factors. Choose the greatest common factor. Find the largest factor that all terms share. Rewrite the expression. Factor out the GCF from each term. You're essentially pulling out the common piece from each part of the expression. Now let's go ahead and try another example. Example 2, factoring a complex expression. So we're going to go ahead and tackle 18x cubed plus 24x squared plus 30x. So first thing is, let's go ahead and rewrite it. And then we're going to go ahead and do the prime factorization of all the coefficients. So we have 18, and we're going to break down 18 into 2 times 9, and then we're going to break down 9 into 3 times 3. So my prime factorization is 2 times 3 times 3. Then we have 24, and we could divide by any factor. And what I'm going to do 4 times 6. 4 could be broken down into 2 times 2. 6 could be broken down into 2 times 3. So now we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And finally, we're going to do 30. 30 could be broken down into 5 times 6. 6 could be broken down into 2 times 3. So then we have 5 times 2 times 3. And what we notice is that 18 has a factor of 2, as well as 24, as well as 30. 18 has a factor of 3, as well as 24, as well as 30. And we notice that that's the only factor that each one has. So what we're going to do is go ahead and bring those to the side, and we're going to go ahead and multiply them. So 2 times 3, and that gives us 6. So our GCF is equal to 6. So we did the coefficients. Now we're going to go ahead and do the variables. So we have x cubed, x squared, and x. Now remember, the exponent tells you how many times the base is being multiplied by itself. So for example, x cubed would be x times x times x. X squared would be x times x. And then we have x. Now we notice what they have in common. So x cubed, we get 1x. X squared will get 1x. And then x will get another 1x. Now, since the x can't give out any more, that's our GCF for the variables. So then we have 6x. Now we're going to factor out the GCF from the trinomial. So now we're going to take this step by step. So the first thing we want to factor out is the 6. So we're going to go ahead and divide everything by 6. So we have 6 is outside because that's our factor. 18 divided by 6 gives us 3x cubed. 24 divided by 6, that gives us 4x squared. And then we're going to go ahead and 30 divided by 6 gives us 5x. Now remember, our GCF is equal to 6x. So we factored out 6. Now we're going to go ahead and factor out a x. So same thing. We're going to divide everything by x. And that gives us, we're going to have to add an x at the factor part. And then we have x cubed divided by x. That's going to give us x squared. Remember, the coefficient stays the same because we already did the coefficient. X squared divided by x gives us x plus x divided by x gives us 1. So we're just not going to put it right there. So my final answer would be 6x times the trinomial, which is 3x squared plus 4x plus 5. Now, some of the common mistakes when factoring GCF. Watch out for these traps. Forgetting to factor fully, make sure you pulled out everything common. Misidentifying the GCF. Double check you found the greatest factor, not just a factor. And lastly, sign errors. Pay close attention to the signs when factoring. Negatives can be tricky. Now remember, applications of factoring GCF. GCF isn't just abstract. It helps in problem solving, simplifying formulas, and real-world math problems. Now it's your time to shine. Factor out these expressions. Go ahead and pause the video. Now the answers are as follow. Go ahead and check your work. So remember some key concepts. Factoring breakdown expressions. GCF is the greatest common factor. And finally, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Keep up the great work, and you'll become factoring pros in no time. Thank you for watching with Professor Chavez. This is brought to you by the proud sponsor of YC Salon. Thank you.